Are you thinking about buying a property, but you're currently renting, or your lease is about to expire and you're like, maybe I should just buy? Well, today we're going to look at the numbers and see what renting in Little Rock is like versus buying in Little Rock. I'm Aisha Pinnell. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty here in Central Arkansas. So let's get into it. So as of today, May of 2026, there is 5,435 homes listed for sale in Little Rock that are at least a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. I went ahead and put the low end at 100,000 just because these are going to be the more livable houses. When you go under that, you're going to start getting into way more like fixer-uppers that aren't livable. So the low end, 100,000, the high end is 8.4 million. The median is $325,000. So we're going to be looking at probably around that median price point and under, because I would think most people renting are probably not looking to buy $1 million house at this point if it's probably their first house. So currently in Little Rock, there's 42 homes. I did 3-bed, 2-bath minimum from $0 to $4,000, which is a lot. But just to give a wide range. So the lowest price listed right now for homes to rent is $1,040. And then the high is $4,000. So I'm going to get even more specific and look at the Midtown area, since this is a popular area for renters and buyers because it's right in the middle. So for renters, there's 11 houses available for rent in the 3-bedroom, 2-bath range. And they range from $1,395 to $3,000 for rent, with the average being $2,010 and the median being $1,700 a month. For buying in the same area, there's 103 houses for sale, ranging from 110,000 to 2.5 million, with the median being around $333,000. So we're going to break this down. Looking at a house listed for $200,000, we're going to break down what your mortgage payment would look like and then what rent would look like in that area. So for $200,000, let's assume you're doing an FHA loan, so you're going to put down 3.5%. You're going to have a principal and interest payment, taxes. You're going to have mortgage insurance and homeowners insurance wrapped into your mortgage payment. That's going to make your mortgage payment around $1,700. So the range would be about $1,660 to $1,770. And that's with interest rates being at 6.5% right now. This particular house is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's got 1,571 square feet. Similar rental in the area, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, is listed for rent for $1,595, and it's at 1,154 square feet. So let's say that interest rates drop to 5.5%, which, are they going to do that again anytime soon? I don't think so. But anyways, you can buy down your interest rate. So let's just go with that. You bought down your interest rate to 5.5%. That only saves you about $100 a month on your mortgage. So you're still around the same price you would be renting in the same area if you bought for $200,000 in that area. So at this point, you may be like, why in the world would I buy a house when I can rent and not have to worry about maintenance for less money? And that's a good point. If you're struggling every month and maintenance things are going to just throw you for a loop, then you should probably keep renting, at least until you stabilize a little bit more and have a little bit in savings for those maintenance problems that come up when you're owning your own house. But if you have some savings and you're already paying that much in rent, it may be a good idea to go ahead and buy, because rent in Little Rock has climbed, especially in Midtown. You may be paying $15.95 now, but in 2 years it might be $17.50, and then even up to $2,000 in a few years. Whereas your mortgage is only going to increase a little bit as insurance increases a little bit. Otherwise, it's not going to change. But the insurance, the homeowner's insurance, has increased slowly over the years. Also, buying a house, you are gaining equity in the house. So if you buy something that needs a little bit of work, and you start fixing it up slowly over time, like you get new windows, new flooring, you update the kitchens, you update the bathrooms, the kitchens. You probably only have one kitchen, so you're just going to update one kitchen, but you may update multiple bathrooms. Okay. This is going to increase your equity in the house, and you're gaining about 3 to 4% yearly just by owning it. Then you can resell it in a few years and roll that money into a better house, a better neighborhood, something more permanent for you. You can refinance it. It just kind of gives you like a financial cushion when you own a house with equity. It's like a built-in savings account. Also, you don't have to worry about moving every few years because your landlord wants to sell or whatever. You can also have whatever dogs you want and don't have to worry about getting approval from somebody. There's definitely benefits to home ownership, but there's also a cost to it. And that's something you have to be honest with yourself about. Little Rock's price to rent ratio is still pretty reasonable compared to a lot of places in the United States. Bigger cities, it's really crazy out there. I've looked into Denver and Austin or Dallas, and it's just impossible to own a house in those areas. So if you're planning to stay in Little Rock for 5 to 10 years, if you want stability, if you want gradual appreciation, if you want to end up converting the property into a rental later, if you value autonomy over maximizing short-term cash flow, these are all reasons to buy a house. Now, if you would rather have more flexibility with moving, lower stress, so you don't have maintenance costs and things like that, lower upfront cash requirements. So normally you just have to put down the first month's rent and then that's it, instead of 3.5% of a loan. Maybe renting is better for you. Buying in Little Rock right now with these interest rates is more of a long game decision. So if you're thinking about the long game and not just right now, then let's talk. Let's see what you can buy in Little Rock. Let's look at your rent now to see how much you could reasonably afford in a house. You don't have to pay $200,000 for a house. There are houses at $100,000 that are still livable. Do they need updates? Yes, they need a little love and they need some updates. But again, this is a long game decision. My house needs updates too. I've done one of the bathrooms, the deck, I've done the roof. I still have more stuff to do, but over time, it's going to equal out. I've got a new AC unit, a new furnace. You can also get home warranties that will cover if big things like that go out, like a furnace or AC unit. So there's definitely options, just depending on your goals and financial situation. So if you're looking for a realtor in Little Rock, I'm going to have the link. It's in my bio, and I'll post it below to book a call with me.